Just waiting for a few to jump on.
No problem. Just gives me a few minutes to get stuff sorted.
Well, you've got no one on yet. There's like a, you know where it says live at the top corner?
Yeah.
There's like an eyeball. Can you see it?
It says live in red.
Yeah, and then there's an eyeball outside of it.
Yeah.
That's telling you how many people are on.
Right.
You just have to let it go for a bit.
Yeah.
See if anybody jumps on.
Yeah.
There's still none on at the moment.
Right. Okay, mate, are we okay? No, it's dead.
Right, I think this is all that's going to join us, so we'll get it started. Welcome to Justice League United Mackie, marching on together. Please respect the channel and please respect that it's Mackie's first live, and bear with him as well. And I hope you enjoy tonight's live, and hopefully some other people join us throughout the discussion as well. So I'm going to now hand over to Mackie.
Welcome, everybody. Right. I'll start off why I come with the name Justice League United Mackie marching on together. Right. Justice is because I want a fair justice system for everybody. That means basically, if you need help, you should be entitled to it. If you commit a crime, it should be a fair justice. The reason I come up with the word league is because everybody has the ups and downs, like in a football league. So basically, united, I want us all to be united to fight corruption in this world. And so basically, if people need help, you get it. So that's basically where I put it with that word. Mackie is basically my name. And marching on to get all on together is the motto for Leeds United Football Club, which I am a big supporter of, also work for. So basically, and I want us all to march together to get freedom and to fight for people basically who need help. So I'll tell you a bit about my past. I left school at 14. I know most people say it were early, but I just got fed up with school. It didn't do nothing for me. So basically I left. I was lucky I had a friend who worked for a company called MAID, which is Mind Accident Investigation Department. They were based just outside Barnsley. So he asked his bosses if they'd take me under their wing. And I was lucky. I got a chance to work for them. So basically, my job was basically, if there was an accident in the mine, we used to go down and investigate it. Like you see, the police do if there's a road accident or if there's crime. So that's basically that part of what I did there. Also, while my time was working in the mines, along came Mrs. Thatcher. So basically, in 1984-85, she decided basically that she was going to close the pits, putting millions of people on the line. So basically, the National Union of Mine Workers president, Arthur Scardle, pulled us all out. He told us to go on strike. so we could fight the National Coal Board and the government. So trying to keep our jobs. But in this time, there's one thing what is not we don't hardly see now, and that was respect. Shopkeepers, because the miners go on strike, gave the miners stuff. They opened soup kitchens. The supermarkets used to give us products so they could open the soup kitchens, while the men went to the picket lines. So yes, and trying to fight for his jobs. Yes, we fought against the police, which was, and I was also at some of the worst lines of all, Orgreaves, where people got killed trying to fight for their lives and their living. So eventually that we lost, and basically the mines started getting shut, putting millions of people on. Also, by this time, basically, the government came up with a bright idea called employment training, or ET as people used to call it, and used to get £10. So they used to call it an extra tenner for doing the training. While I was there, you had to fill in CVs and write letters to employers, and basically, but if you didn't go, they would have stopped your benefit. So basically, you had to go through the papers. So I was looking for the papers one day, and I came across a job at Leeds United. They wanted security for the next coming season. So I filled the application form out, sent them a letter, and mailed it off. A week later, I got a reply asking to go for an interview. So I went for an interview, and I was lucky I got offered the job as to do security. Well, for that season, so basically, I was there doing security, looking after the crowds and any other job basically they want us to do. Also working with the police. So basically, and then the end of the season, the guy who basically was the player security, the main one, had an health problem and decided to leave. I got told this by a very good friend who also worked with Leeds. So basically, well, that's how I got to know that. But while I was working at Leeds, I was also working for the G4S, Leeds Met, and Showsec, which basically do most of the arenas these days. Now, so basically, as I was saying, I was lucky to get. I heard about the job basically for the place security, so I applied for it. I was lucky. I got basically asked if I would basically do it on a what they call a temp period. That means basically, if they think I take it were good enough for that, I would be given the job. I jumped at the choice, so that's what I did the following season. So I was played. So we became the players' bodyguard, security. This was the time when basically you had George Graham, David O'Leary, basically as the manager and the thingy manager and the assistant manager. So that's about the time we're doing it. So basically. Long story short, I also work a lot of very good lads. All basically had respect for one another. Fair enough, do get players who I can't stand, but I still respected them. That was a part of the job I had to do. There's still a lot of players off today I can't stand, but I respect them for what they do. Same with managers. There's a lot of managers basically I couldn't stand, but I respected them. That is the trouble with today's society. There is no respect from anybody. It's gone. I'd like to know basically why it has gone.
For people that are just coming in, if you want to leave Mackie any comments in the comments at the side, you're more than welcome. I know there's a couple that are coming in now. And please bear with him as well. It's his first time live. And he's not very well at the moment as well, and it's taken real guts and real effort for him to actually come on and speak this evening. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay. I believe there was a question from Kim.
Yeah.
What was it like working at Leeds United, and did you become a director or something?
No, I didn't become a director. I was the head of the player security. If the play, what it was basically, we used to have a radio, and when the players used to come in, they used to tell us basically that the players were coming into the grounds. So basically, I used to have to go to the cars where they were based and make sure they basically they followed the rules and make sure there were no violence with the supporters. Sign a few autographs with them, and then take them to the door, basically ready for the matches. But if anybody can remember, Leeds United got a player called Robbie Fowler from Liverpool. One day, basically, I got a radio call that Robbie were coming in, basically, and that we were parking in Bay 9. So Robbie come in perfect, parked up in Bay 9, come out went over to meeting, and I was with two other guys. So we basically went and waited for him to come in this car. I said, come in the car, come out the car, basically. Everything was going fantastic. Signed a few autographs, and then this 13-year-old lad came out of nowhere. Robbie signed him his shirt. Had a photo with him. Robbie went basically. Robbie said, "Right, I want to get some out of my car." So I sat back of the car. So basically, he went to basically open his car boot, took his a bag out of the car. While he was doing that, basically, I was doing my job, basically making sure that nobody took anything from the back of the car. And suddenly I felt like someone had kicked me. Took no notice of this, basically. So Bobby got his stuff out of his car, shut his car boot, and one of the crowd members just said, "You know, you've been stabbed in your leg." So I thought, oh, they were joking. Until one of us other ones says, "No, it's right, you have been stabbed in your leg." So basically, for me just helping out a player, I got stabbed. When it come out and we checked it up, the person who stabbed me was a 13-year-old child, the one who came out from nothing. Luckily, the police actually got a chance to get him, arrest him. When they took him into the cells, as well, I was getting treatment, and they were talking to him why they stabbed me. It came out he was an absolute huge fan of Robbie Fowler. He was also an absolute huge fan of Liverpool. So basically, because he moved and went to Leeds United, he decided it'd be very good fun to retaliate. look, it could, that person also had underlying health problems. He was a manic depressive, which basically, and when it come out, he was being let down by school. He'd been let down by the society. He'd been let down by the government, and didn't get the help he needed. But this case also went to court. I didn't want it to go to court, even though he stabbed me, but it went to court. This lad was lucky. He only got 2 years probation. I don't know what happened to him, if he got the train, the health or anything he be after it, but he got 2 years probation. That lad, 13, could have ended up with a prison sentence, or even worse, he could have killed somebody. This is what we're trying. This is basically what it is today. There's too many people getting let down by society, by a corrupt government. If you work out how many people come onto these YouTube channels each day with not getting the help they need, DJ Link, Vix, who needs a hell of a lot of help. And the list goes on and on and on. But wait a minute, Britain is the 5th richest country. Why can't we support our own? Look at the armed forces, what's getting let down. Homeless on the streets. But yeah, wait a minute, you get people coming over from other countries and getting put in 5-star hotels and 4-star hotels. But you walk the street on a day and seeing people there, our own, who's got nowhere to live, ex-army veterans. This is what I'm saying, it makes you sick and tired. This is why basically this corruption needs to basically stop. And that time the government started thinking about our own. And if they can't do the job, the answer's simple. Give it to some fucker who can. And also, I don't like this idea, if you're a councillor, you can take seat after seat after seat after seat. It should stop. It should go only to 2 terms. You get elected once, you do your time. You get elected again, you do your time. That's it. You've done your time. Pass the buck to somebody else. That is what the system should be. And as this House of Lords, it's outdated, don't need it. Waste of money. Same with your police commissioners. Waste of money. All this money, basically, with the government wasting on people, what things people don't need, needs all bringing into account. What about this H2 train system? Whatever, but what they're all going mad about. Just work out what the damage that is doing to the people. Buildings are getting knocked down. Houses getting knocked down. Ruining the wildlife. Knocking down trees. How many people can actually use that H2? Yeah, plus you don't know what price it is. I know for once I ain't going to be using it. So what's the point? Waste the money. Use that money for an hospital, medical care for people who need it. This is what what we all need to stand up and fight for, not for basically having bickering at each other and having an argument at each other. We should be united. We should stand together and fight all these corruptions. This is what I want to do. This is mainly why the channels are done. I've been sat back and I've heard from a load of different channels, bickering and shouting, and person's done this and person's done that. It's worse than a kindergarten, a 5-year-old. We shouldn't have this on here. This is why I set this channel up. I want to go out and fight corruption. I want to go out and make it better in this world for our next generation. The House of Lords, no, I don't, Miss Angela. I want to get rid of the House of Lords. It's outdated, as I said before. It's the people. So basically, if you've got the House of Commons, that means the House of Lords could go. We don't need it, even though most people think we do. What's it doing? What's its purpose? It's waste of money when it could go to medical help. It's peers who are they don't give a hoot about me. They don't give a hoot about anybody else. All they're bothered about is money, 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 money. Why? You can't take money away when you can be the richest person in the world. Soon as it's your time and you eat that and you drop down dead, you can't take the bloody thing anywhere. And if you haven't got anyone to leave it with, who does it go to? The government, the biggest corrupt people on earth. Also, if you leave stuff in people's wills, who taxes it? The government. Wait a minute, they're coming with poll tax. Does it do anything for anybody? Well, no, we'll raise it because they'll come up with some things. Why? It's a scam. TV licenses. Who don't need it? It's a scam. That's what I'm saying. There's too much corruption in this world and it needs to stop. There's people who are out there crying for help who's not getting it. What it is basically, don't forget, it's the people who vote for these, the governments and the councillors. Before you think of it, how many people wants to put their councillors in seats, see them? Even though if you ask for help, you don't get it. Only time you see him is if it's election day or election time. Then you've got an MP in most areas. If you ask for help, do you get it? Do they do what's best for you? When they're supposed to be here to fight for the people? This is what we're saying. It's a world of corruption. No respect for anybody. This is what needs to change. This is what the world is getting to today. But don't forget, it's not we supposed to make it better for our next generation. This is what the problem is. There's no respect. There's no help for anybody. What's going to... So basically, why is all this? This is what we all need to take into account. If you need help, it should be there. Never mind waiting 6 years, 10 years. It's disgusting. I want help. I pay my taxes. I'm entitled to it. This is what the problem is. If you need it, we should have it. But wait a minute, it's all you're put on a waiting list. Wait a minute, there should be no bloody waiting list for anything. This is what it's getting to. Everything is you need to be put on a waiting list. You need to do this. You need to do that, and then contact this number, contact that number, contact another. But yet, still no help. This is the problem, what this world is getting to. And I don't want it no more. I want people to start fighting back. And so, wait a minute, We put you in them seats. You're working for us. If you don't like it, give it to somebody who can do it. This is what we need to do. We need to stand up and fight this corruption, not each other. But that's what makes me angry and sick, seeing people who need help and not getting it. Seeing as next generation getting let down yet again. How many more people are going to get let down by a corrupt government or councils? This is where this is the problem. Our future of kids of today are getting let down like we did. Still, a lot of people basically from the youths and from all the other horrible things in the world are not getting the help. This needs to change and needs to change fast. And it's time the government got off their ass, stopped collecting the big wages and started putting the people first. This is what everybody needs to fight. We should be first. We pay our taxes. We work for this country. We want what we are entitled to. Not be put on a bloody waiting list. Or told to ring 50 million numbers. You want to see a doctor? You don't have to wait 14 days. You can get an appointment there. If you want to see a counsellor, fair enough. You don't have to wait 6 years or 20 months. It's right, no problem. A couple of days you can see one. This is what the trouble is. It's all easy. Oh, yeah, ring this number and I'll put you on a waiting list. How many people on YouTube have been waiting over a year to see a counsellor or to see a specialist? And it's disgusting, absolutely, utterly disgusting. But wait a minute, we can get somebody coming over from abroad in a boat and we'll give them a 4-star hotel. Wait a minute, what about our own? Who's been on the front lines? Who needs an house? Or who needs an house to live in? This is what the problem is. Every government who's coming to power, every council what's coming to power, don't give a hoot about us. And it's wrong. All wrong. And this is where we need to stop bickering about he's done this and you've done that and I've done this. We need to unite, stand together. If anybody can remember the film Braveheart with Mel Gibson, who did the fight? The English. Why? Because the English basically was being too powerful and corruption against the Scots. But wait a minute, what did the Scots do? They fought back. This is what I'm saying. And shouted freedom. Why can't we do exactly the same? We want freedom. We want his rights. This is what I'm saying. We should all unite and stand firm. If you agree, bang me a like on me thingy. If you don't think I agree, tell me why. This is what I'm saying. We need it. This is what I'm saying. With society today, how many times do people walk in the streets where you live and see the homeless. Have you ever gone over to talk to these homeless people and asked them basically why they're on the streets? Because 9 out of 10 have got one hell of a story to tell you. And ask them why basically they're drinking or they're taking drugs. Because some of the stories they tell you is utterly horrible. Like today, I was in town. I had to go down basically because I got bills to pay. And there was a guy sat outside the lamppost, basically, with a sleeping bag around him, asking people to give him a bit of change so basically he could eat. That guy was an ex-service personnel officer, fought in the Gulf. Also, he was an alcoholic. Also, he takes drugs, but he went to the Gulf. Reason he was also, he came back with mental health problems because he saw his colleagues getting killed, getting blown up. But yet he served for our country and gets treated and desert like dirt. If I've just seen one in Halifax, how many more is there in our cities, in our towns? This is where the problem is. If you go and speak to them and find out why they're on the streets, it's utterly horrible. We shouldn't be having this in this country. This is why I want to fight all this corruption and injustice. It's disgusting. If you work out basically how many, we're the 5th richest country, but yet we're treating our people like dirt. It's horrible. So if the government are listening to this and the councillors are listening to this, I've got one word for you, and it's simple. If you can't do your job, fuck off. Give it to somebody who can give the job, and stop coming up with this bull crap.
Dad, you're breaking up. Hang on a minute. I'll try and sort it.
Right. Stop wasting this money. There's people out there crying for help, pleading for help. So it's time you gave it them. This is why I've set up these channels. I want to get. I'll try and get a better life for you, for your family, for your friends, for your next generation, and that generation after. And stop all this corruption. I want the services, what used to belong to the council, stop being privatised. I want to go back under our ownership. That means as bins. That means as roads, etc., etc. Instead of all being privatised and making fat cats fat, when most basically shouldn't be doing it. If you want to take rubbish, to have rubbish picked up in Halifax, it's £25. But wait a minute, what if this person's on a pension? How can they force £25? So this is what I mean. Fat cats. It's disgusting. We pay us rents, we pay us taxes. We should be free. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, Del. It's disgusting. It shouldn't be wasting this long. Why? It needs it. It should be there. This is why we've got society. It's disgusting. And that's what I'm saying. It's absolutely and utterly disgusting. And this is what we need to start and fight for. We did it in the miners' strike. Yes, fair enough, we lost his jobs, but we had respect for one another. We went and we fought. At the shops and the supermarkets, helped us out. How many people? And look at it, and that's what we're saying. Respect is a big thing, but there isn't any in today's society. God, when I was brought up, you had to respect your elders. You had to respect other people. Otherwise, you got it. This is what I was saying. And if this turn around and said basically, talking about with children, I know basically what it's like to have disabled children. I've got two of them. I've got one who's on the other side of this, which is my son, Jamie, who also once has been let down by society, also been let down by schools, tried to commit suicide. So there's another one who's being let down. Then I've got a daughter who's also been let down. This is by the schools and the government and the councils. This is wrong. This is what I want to fight. I've gone through it in schools. We used to have the thing called an health plan, and now it's gone to something else. A Senko plan or whatever else it's called. Why? These.
It used to be called a yeah. We got a technical problem.
We're all going to wrong. It's a world of corruption. And it's wrong. Our kids can't basically, and this is why there's too many suicides, because they're not getting the help. Oh, and then we're thinking, wait a minute, and what's their future going to bring? There isn't hope for anything for me today, because the government are letting people. Right. Have you got it back yet? Right. Too right, that. Absolute right. 100% right. Have you done it?
I think we're back now, Dad. Can everybody hear us, guys? I think we're having a technical difficulty. Can everybody hear us okay?
You're 100% right, Miss Angela. We've left Brexit. Now it's time the government stop fucking around and got us trade deals we need and helped our future. Exactly. This is what we were on about earlier. Our future generation need support. There's too much letting down in society. And this is why we need to stand together and fight this corruption and fight the government and have a voice. So if a person needs help, he knows that there's people out there who will back him. Instead of fighting everything now on your own. So if a child needs the support of an health worker or a speech therapist or things in school, it should be there. And if they can't, and if they don't do it, they need to be ordered into account. If we break the law, we're ordered into account. We get the book thrown at us. Why doesn't government? Why doesn't the councils? Why doesn't the education service? We're paying for these services, but yet we're getting let down. It's disgusting. How many people a day, when you see it basically, then when you get your wages, how much tax you get taken off you in taxes? How much do you pay on road tax? And etc., etc. But yet, they're all not used correctly. How many roads do you see when you're travelling on have potholes? But yet you're paying your road tax. How many times do they say, you must put your kid in school? And you put your kid in school, and then you've got to go and buy a school uniform. You must give your child a school uniform. But wait a minute, who pays for these school uniforms? When you're talking a blazer, a pair of trousers, shirts, shoes. What if you can't afford these? The schools should give them you free. They ask you to wear it. It should be free. They should give it you. This is where we're saying it's all to do with money. It's wrong. Oh, you must go. Your kids have. We've decided we're going to change your school uniform next year from blue to green, but you've got to buy all new. But your new jacket's going to cost you 150 quid. Wait a minute. How many people can afford 150 quid for a blazer? But wait a minute. You've got one or two more or more kids going to that school. It's wrong. This is what we're trying to say to you. It's all money. This, money, that. It's wrong. And this is where the problem with this world. Everything is you must pay for this. You must pay for that. The trouble is, though, there's a lot of people who can't afford it. Well, we'll give you a computer. Fantastic for your school. Brilliant. Now you take that home. How many people can afford Wi-Fi to do your school work? So this is where we're saying, fair enough to give you a computer, but wait a minute, who's paying for the Wi-Fi to use this computer? There shouldn't be this. The schools should be open. The pupils need to go back to school. And that is what it is. Everything is the easy life. You go to a doctor's and you see a doctor. You go and see and say, I've got a mental health problem. And he checks you and he says, oh, wait a minute. Yes, I know what you've got. You've got this, this, and this. Here you are. Here's some tablets. Wait a minute. Why does doctors always prescribe tablets? Wait a minute. It's easy. Wait a minute. These tablets they supply you, they give you to, can be horrible things. You ask DJ Vix anytime. She got given a tablet by a doctor, and it nearly made her blind. You could, if you go on to some of the things, she'll tell you this. Then you go on to other things. How many is addictive? And what ingredients are in them? Wouldn't it be easier if, instead of popping you with tablets, they could be used a more healthier way than tablets? But what does it all come down to? They won't do it. Because who pays for your prescriptions? Yourself. Wait a minute. If you need to go and see a therapist, who pays for it? The NHS. Or you have to go private, like Miss Angela did, which is disgusting. You shouldn't have to go private unless if you want to see a doctor or anything like that. It should be there. And this is where it comes to. It's all to save money. But wait a minute. We pay our taxes. We pay as bills. But yet, we're not getting anything out of it. Look how much is it now for a prescription? £10? Wait a minute, that's per item. What if these people will basically say you need this item and you end up, but that money could buy you food, could pay your bills. See where the world's going it is? And how many people do you see going to food banks? Bloody food banks! And yet you see our nurses and our professionals who work on the front lines going to fucking food banks because they can't afford things. School meals because they're at school and not getting fed unless people are standing up and fighting for them to get food. That's what I'm saying. That's really a fantastic job, but he shouldn't have to do this. It should be there. How many children do you think on a night and families go starving because they've got no food, no electric to keep warm in a world where it shouldn't happen? This is where it's all wrong. And this is what it all comes down to. We're the 5th richest country, but yet we're getting treated like dirt. As health services, they say, are struggling. As schools are struggling. But why are they struggling when we're the 5th richest country? Because they are wasting money on stuff we don't need. Work out how much money the government are wasting on stuff people don't need, or councils. Oh, Halifax Council, wait a minute. We'll give ourselves a pay rise. Do they deserve it? No. But we'll give ourselves a pay rise. Because they meet up once a week in an office and talk a load of rubbish and try and change the world and spend money on crap we don't need. And then they say, oh, I must have my expenses. They don't deserve it. It should be voluntary. I've always said this. If you want to be a counsellor, it should be voluntary. And if you need so you're giving back to society, not claiming from society. And worst thing of all, though, most of your counsellors don't live in the wards. So they don't know anything about your ward you live in. How many counsellors live in wards? I know for a fact in my ward there's one. We have 3 counsellors, but only 1 live in the ward. The other 2 don't live in this ward. They don't know, and they don't know anything about it. But you wait until it comes around to voting. They'll be banging on your door, giving you a load of jargon. Oh, we can do this for you. We can do that for you. We can do other for you. And you think, fantastic, I'll vote for that person. Do they ever do it for you?
Oh, it's no woman's shortlist.
Yeah.
That's being sexist.
And this is what we're saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They can prescribe it. But how many, Miss Angela, but how many times has your doctor described them treatments when it's easy to just to fog you off with pills? So basically, we need to fight these corruptions, and this is what we're saying. And this is where we need to unite and stand firm and fight these corruptions. And so we can change things. One person cannot change a damn thing. But if we get united together and stand firm and say, enough is enough, we may change something. We may get the services we need. And then you can think, and then you can go in the street and be proud to hold his head up and say, we fought for the best for this country, our future. So people can be, like we say, and bring the great back into this country. But this is where the trouble is. People these days are getting let down and nothing's getting done. So we're not proud to call ourselves British. We're not proud to say, I am British.
And if you want online fitness, and
this is where we need it.
If you want online fitness and programs like that, Turbo Fight Hub does them. It does family fitness, kickboxing, and disabled fitness. Because he did one for me this afternoon that was actually fantastic for my disability.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job. That's what I'm saying. That is a person who respects others. And that's what I'm saying. This is what everybody needs. Instead of bickering and arguing against each other, stand united. This is why I put it in the article. If we're united, we're all a unit. We can fight for these things. Remember the saying, united we stand, divided we fall. So, this is what we're saying. This is what we want. This is why I said justice for the people. It's not hard if we all stick together and fight these corrupt companies. And make sure yourself, if you need help, you get it. The future gets it. This is where it all comes to. And instead of bickering and arguing against each other, Go into other people's channels. Don't be horrible. Don't be a troll. Sit back if you don't want to go in it and listen to what people are saying or writing. Because basically, everybody in this world has a story to tell them. What's out? You never know. You could save someone's life if they feel down. You could give them information on how to improve their life, how to fight corruption. It's simple. Like I said to you, I respect each and every one of you. You might not see me on your channels, but I could be in the background and listening to what people are saying. Why is this? I don't come on and say, so-and-so's done this and so-and-so's done that. And I'm getting bad reports. And, oh, please do this. I sit back and I listen to it. And I take in, wait a minute, that person's getting let down. I've been let down like that. How many more in the country? Wait a minute, there's people basically being sexually assaulted and not getting the help they need. I've been there. I've done it. I've been there and I've basically seen what happens. And then you think, wait a minute, they're getting sexually abused. So basically, they've gone through one trauma. It goes to court. Has anyone actually realised what it's like going to a court if you're being sexually abused? It's disgusting how they treat you. But yet, they treat you like dirt. Well, worse than dirt. And this is the problem. There should be a better way for you to give evidence in court. How many young children have to go to court because they've been sexually abused or been violently beaten? It's disgusting. This is where this is where the problem of this world is. There's no respect for anybody or anything. I've been listening to what Miss Angela's been saying. Every time she comes on, I feel sorry for her. I wished I could change everything for her. It's disgusting. Same with DJ Vix. I've listened to her story more than once. It's disgusting what they've done to her. And how many more people are like this? This is where the problem is. It's totally disgusting. And this is where it is. They shouldn't be like this. Miss Angela said last time she was on, she's been waiting 6 years to get treatment. Why? It's disgusting. So she's had to go and pay for private to do it out of her own money, when that money could help a family, could help pay bills. It's disgusting. And then you've got Miss DJ Vix and the stuff what's happened to her. I feel sorry for that lady. My heart bleeds every time she comes on and tells people about it. And how she's being treated. People need to get their fingers from up their asses and listen to what these people are saying. And work out why they're being let down. It doesn't go for these people. There's millions in the world who's been let down. They don't need slagging off or being trolled. They need your support. They need your respect. This is where this world needs to change, and change fucking fast. And listen to what these people are saying. You never know. It could happen to you. And then they say, oh, it's all mental illness and this. Wait a minute. Anybody, don't care where you come from, could end up with a mental illness. You could end up with a disease. This is where people need to stop thinking about themselves and put other people first as well. So I'm going to end this because I've got my young niece and it's getting to her bedtime. So remember, respect. It's not hard. It doesn't cost you anything. And remember, respect and manners cost you nothing. This is where right, Jamie, I'll end it. So thank you, everybody, and I'm going to get going off.
Right, thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see you all again soon, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to Mackie's channel, and stay safe everybody, and I'll see you all tomorrow. And if you need any support, you can contact me by that address there. Look after yourselves, and bye for now.
Yeah, bye for now. This is what you call a poorly child who's tired.